Checked. Stop recording.
Alright, you
Microsoft
guys,
Flight Simulator
welcome back,
1.22.1.
BVI Pilots.
Microsoft Flight
I am
Simulator
here with
1.22.
you. I've got Josh with me here in the room as well. And we've got Microsoft 2020 loaded. We are flying from Indianapolis to, if I pronounce it right, to Amsterdam. Is that pronounced? I think that's how you say it. Eham, E-H-A-M, I believe is the
It's Amsterdam, yeah.
Yeah, Amsterdam. So we've actually we've got FS Tramp that we use so we can start out at the gate, and it worked. Josh told me how to do it, and I'm actually going to have him explain that to you as well. So, Josh, how do we do that? If we want to get to the gate and let AI still fly, but get to do the pushback effect and all that, what is the process to do that?
Okay, well, since we can't select, well, it's difficult to almost impossible to select gates within the sim. So what you do is you load your plan into Tramp, or you can have Tramp create the plan for you, but I don't know if I'd recommend that. So you load your sim-based plan into Tramp. Go to the Find Airport. Well, there's a Find area in Tramp at the very top, or right under the Plan menu, and you click that. And without having the iCal code checked, you can find a whole bunch of stuff, environmental objects, and all. So make sure you have the iCal checkbox checked, and put in your departure tab, and you'll see a tree view with your runways and your gates. To select the gate that you want to start at, just hit the applications key. You can either press T or go arrow down to plan, and it doesn't say add to plan, it just says to plan.
Yeah.
And there you go. Save it. Tab to the toolbar that Tramp has. Click save and load it in the simulator.
Yep. And guys, that's exactly what I did too.
By the way, that goes. I think that goes for prepare too. If you actually load a flight plan, if you do that same process in Tramp and then load a flight plan in prepared, it will start at the gate. It will start at whatever gate you select, especially a 2020 flight plan. But but no, this is how we do it in 2020.
Yeah, and I mean it's worked out perfectly. As you guys noticed, he went through his startup process. Still kind of doing that, actually. Still getting everything running and getting ready to get over to the runway. I think it does a pretty daggone good job for it being AI that's doing it. I've not done anything here. I'm not going to, really. Now,
well, you can, even if you wanted to. It won't let you.
Well, I'm wondering, when I'm using AI to go all the way, does it matter if I have FS Tramp open or not? I guess it doesn't if you got AI on.
Yeah, you can close it.
Oh, so you can close it once you're loaded. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I guess you could see like which waypoint you're at in Tramp. You can look at the 1/2 thing and see which waypoint you're crossing, but
sure.
Other than that, there's really no point. And like you can see your altitude and stuff.
Yeah, so maybe I'll leave it open just for the heck of it, but I believe we're still doing some stuff here. Yeah, I hear another.
We're live, or you just recording this?
We're just doing a recording here, so. Yeah, he's still doing some.
You got TFM open?
I do, yes. I believe. No, I don't.
Folder view, team talk, team viewers, Turtle Beach, Twitch chat, talking flight monitor.
Okay, I do now.
Normal cursor.
Or about
App start cursor.
Now, just so you guys know, TFM works, but doesn't work. Like, there's areas where it does work, and
Talking
there's
flight
areas
on
where
FS
it
Airlines.
doesn't
Normal
work.
cursor. Loading airport database. But not load airport database. Current aircraft. Boeing
The
700.
one
13
critical
knots.
Microsoft Flight
area it
Simulator.
doesn't work with
Microsoft
is
Flight
the
Simulator
12
runways.
knots.
1.2.2.0.
It doesn't know anything about runways.
11 knots.
Right. Okay, we're going down the taxiway, I believe, because we're at 11 knots, 12 knots, 11 knots.
Yeah, it's taxi.
Marion, Indiana, United States. U.S. Eastern Standard Time. Marion, Indiana, United States.
And that's the thing, like, TFM can't tell you, unlike Prepared, whether you're on a taxiway or not here, because there's no runway database. Or
Right.
no airport database, rather.
Right. Yeah, I just thought about that. I guess I could look on Tramp, I guess, to see.
Yeah, but it won't tell you the taxiways or anything, so.
Well, you're right there, too. Yeah, it's not going to.
10 knots indicated.
14 knots.
15 knots ground speed.
18 knots.
Now he's feeding up more.
21 knots. 21 knots.
Got up to 21 knots.
21 knots.
It's a big airport,
Yeah, it's about
though.
the.
20 knots.
Yeah, 21 knots is about
21
max
knots.
you can go in, like, real life taxi speed. Unless
20
you're
knots.
really running late, like, you can.
20 knots. 18 knots. 17 knots.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to get to his
16
runway
knots.
here. We're slowing back
14
down
knots.
now, so.
13 knots. 12 knots. 11 knots.
11 knots.
11 knots.
Alright. And sometimes, I guess, depending on what airport you're at, you guys, it can take sometimes longer to do your taxi and all that, sometimes shorter. I guess it just depends.
Yeah.
You know, where you're at. The thing about it, though, I was watching, I can't remember what the guy was doing. He used FS Tramp, but I don't think he was part of the BVI community, but he did use Tramp. And
13 knots. 16
Wow,
knots.
what was he on YouTube? Like what?
19 knots.
Yeah, it was a YouTube video, but he was
20
complaining.
knots.
Like, he was literally complaining about Tramp.
20
saying
knots.
How,
20 knots.
Tramp didn't work properly the way it should
20
with
knots.
2020, but
20 knots.
number one, you got to know how to use
20
Tramp
knots.
to begin with. Number two, what
20
do you
knots.
want it to do? Like,
Yeah,
20
yeah.
knots.
What I got kind of want to
20
see
knots.
this video just because I didn't realize there were anybody else
20
using
knots.
Tramp.
yeah, and I don't think
20
the guy
knots.
was visually impaired. I think it was someone that
20
was
knots.
using it for visual
20 knots.
purposes only, but then was
20
trying to
knots.
see if it would do other stuff. And well, if you
20
never
knots.
use it that way, you're not going to know how to use it to begin
20
with.
knots.
I'll have to find that video and share it with you
18
guys.
knots.
It was like
17
a 4 or
knots.
5 minute video. Matter of fact, the
16
video,
knots.
he didn't even end it like saying
14
goodbye
knots.
or nothing. He was like, oh, forget this. And
13 knots.
the video, no, it's gone. Like,
12 knots.
really, dude?
11 knots.
Yeah, we must still be doing some
11
taxiing.
knots.
We're at 11 knots. Steady.
It's hard to know which gate to choose, which is like closest to the runway, or like what's gonna get you to the runway.
It is.
You know,
Another way you can make sure that AI is working, just do Control Alt X. If you turn it off, not that big of a deal, because you can hit it again, turn it back on, and it'll continue doing what it needs to be doing. I would assume.
well, I mean, I wouldn't test that during taxi though, because I don't know, it might.
But I mean,
It might be
he's definitely
thrown off.
doing something because I'm hearing some clicking like with the channels, like bloop, bloop. You know, you can hear. So I'm going to keep on guessing that he is.
5 knots ground speed.
Yeah, we're down to 5 knots now, so I think he's slowing down. And he'll be communicating with Tower here at some point as well. Or departure.
Did you hear him get like which how many taxiways does he have to go through? Because like if you heard taxi clearance.
13 knots.
I heard him talking, but I was
knots.
also listening to trying to get OBS
17
started,
knots.
so I missed what
18
what
knots.
it said. Now we're back up to 18
16
knots,
knots.
16 knots,
15 knots.
15 knots.
14 knots.
I think you can use OCR
13
to see
knots.
like it'll say like 5.3 miles or like it'll
11
tell you like
knots.
how
Let's see.
far you are
Recognizing.
from the
Result
11
document.
knots.
Microsoft Flight 2290. Hog 122 objectives. No objective. GPS 4. Tips. Flight state tax 0.29 F. Flight state taxi.
Flight state taxi
0.29 NM.
0.29 NM.
AOA 0. 200. Airspeed. Star line number 3.
Okay, zero.
Number 4.
Okay, so you
Fuel.
got-
P type here is 1103 N 020000000 N. Tips. Microsoft Flight
Yes,
Simulator.
nothing.
Recognizing. 20 G12 no objectives. Flight state fuel. Flight state taxi. Fuel 0.12 NM.
0.12. Okay, so it is moving.
Microsoft recognize G12 no tip. Flight fuel 0 AOA 0.11 NM.
Yeah, 0.11. Okay.
Microsoft Flight Simulator
So
1.
we were just far away from the runway. We probably crossed quite a few taxiways here, I'm guessing. But I'll be honest. I think it's pretty
Yeah, I
amazing
wonder if
that
maybe
auto
wonder if
taxi.
maybe you wonder if maybe you should have selected a cargo ramp instead or something. Maybe that would have been a better thing.
I
to do.
probably
One,
could have, but
120.90 parking brake on.
That's all right. Give me time to do a little talking and.
GSI 1123 altimeter tree 0.18 wind 285 at 7.
And it's not like crashing into stuff, like it's because you can see visuals and it's
Parking
like,
brake off.
Right.
seems to
In
be
the tower
following the thing.
FedEx 16607 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 23 right approach. FedEx 1660 Indy Tower. Altimeter tree 0.18 wind 285 at 7. Cleared ILS runway 23 right approach.
Alright, we got a FedEx coming in at 23 right.
112 Cleared ILS runway 23 right approach FedEx 1660.
FedEx 1660 is coming in at 23 right. Come on, FedEx. I want to remind you guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, maybe it's your first time checking out the videos, be sure to tap on that subscribe button, join us here, and also click on that notification button, set your notifications to always so you're notified each time that we publish a video or go live. You can also follow us on Twitter at BVI Pilots.
FedEx 1660 wind 285 at 7. Cleared to land runway 23 right.
You can find us on Twitch. Just go to
Cleared to land runway 23 right FedEx 1660.
Pilot Live 2020. Looks like FedEx is coming in to 23 right.
Where are you taking off from?
We're taking off from Indianapolis. We
Well, I
got
know, but like which runway?
our runway is 32.
Oh,
Yeah, runway 32. Let's see what he's doing here.
Recognizing result document MDG 1 tip flight no objective. O ESC 200 star. EUOIG airspeed. Star line number 2 number 4 3. Fuel AOA P type here to 0 N 0200002/08.
Oh, here we
Microsoft
go.
Flight Simulator 1.22.2.0.
28 knots.
We're taking off, guys. Here we go.
47 knots. 66 knots.
That was so cool.
83 knots. 100 knots.
I've heard people say they use that
Plainfield, Indiana,
autopilot
United States,
117 knots.
261
on vets
degrees,
and
excellent,
mobile
degrees,
toilet,
distance,
those are the
87
bathroom,
nautical
just
miles,
an
bearing, 51
autopilot.
degrees, 9 hours, 1 minute,
152 knots.
34 seconds, trim up,
Go to the bathroom,
0.43, trim up, 0.64, trim up, 0.84, trim up,
Airport.
1.01, trim up, 1.19, trim up, 1.32, trim up, 1.48, trim up, 1.64, trim up, 1.76, trim up, 1.87, trim up, 2, trim up, 0. Trim up, 0, trim up, 0.70, trim up, 2.72, trim up, 2.8, trim up, read trim disabled. Trim enabled, trim down, trim, read trim disabled. 1,000 feet. Gear up, dot.
There we go. Gears up.
Auto throttle on, flight director active, airspeed hold active, AP altitude, 9022 feet.
119.05 GSI 112 tree.
Com 1,
Departure
119.05.
GSI 112 tree is at 1,400 feet, climbing 9,000 feet.
GSI 112 tree Indy. Departure altimeter tree 0.18 continue as planned.
2,000 feet.
GSI 112 tree, you are 4 miles southwest. Keep speed not above 210 knots. Expect ILS runway 2 tree right approach via recent transition. Clear to recent.
Keep speed not above 210 knots. Expect ILS runway 2 tree right approach via recent transition. Cleared to recent GSI 112 tree.
Auto throttle off, 3,000 feet. $4,000 feet.
All right, let's see what.
2175, 4623 feet ASL. 2126 feet per minute.
Yeah, we're climbing at
2133 feet per minute.
2133 feet per minute.
5,000 feet. AP altitude, 9022 feet.
Our current altitude will be 9,200 feet. I'm guessing that'll change here shortly.
GSI 112 tree descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
6,000
Descend
feet.
and maintain 5,000 feet GSI
1634 feet per
112
minute.
tree.
797 feet per minute. Minus 1309 feet per minute. 6,000 feet.
What's up?
Brother?
5914 feet ASL. Minus 928 feet per minute.
Why is he going and listening to landing instructions?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, let's see what happens, but she just told us to go to 5,000 and maintain 5,000.
Well, maybe that's a restriction on the SID, maybe.
Yeah, maybe so.
GSI 112 tree descend and maintain 4,000 feet.
No,
Descend
now
and maintain
it's down to
4,000
4,000
GSI
feet.
112 tree.
Why are you landing at the
What
moment?
fuck?
GSI 112
Wait, is she
tree,
gonna-
5,000 feet.
Is she gonna land you at the airport again? Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
120.9 when inbound on the approach.
I think that the tramp fuck up. I think
Tower
tramp
on
may have fucked up.
120.9 GSI 112 tree.
Yeah, she landed
Com
at
1,
the...
120.9
Tower
mode.
GSI 8 miles northeast,
Clear
inbound
down,
ILS
dot.
runway 2 tree right approach. GSI 112 tree Indy Tower.
Oh,
Bro,
this video has to go up just for hilarity's sake.
bro,
Flaps 5, 4,000 feet.
why are we landing? I don't want to
Clear
land.
ILS runway 2 tree right approach GSI 112 tree.
That's gonna be a fun one for FS Airlines. Like, what?
Oh my god. quickest flight in world history. That's gonna be the title of this one. Boeing 747, quickest flight in world history. Here we have it.
Flaps 10. Flaps 20.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
2,500.
Minus
I wonder
791
if
feet per
like,
minute.
I wonder if like it was
179
like
knots
just
indicated.
this one airport in the flight plan. You gotta check that when you open up the tramp again. Check it and see what the hell waypoints
still
are
got
in it. I
tramp
don't
open.
understand.
So I'll look at it.
Yeah, check the flight plan. See what the fuck.
FedEx 1660.
3,000 feet.
That's landed at runway 23 right.
So we're probably gonna be coming in right behind that FedEx.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
hilarious.
Wow, you guys. Was not expecting this.
Something fucked up there.
Something totally went wrong here and I don't know what it was.
GSI 112 follow the generic on short.
I mean, you did open up the Simbury flight plan, right?
Do what?
You did open up the Simbury flight plan and tramp, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the one I just downloaded.
2,000 feet.
Oh man, you may need to run the scenery assembler or something like that. That's just strange.
Indy Tower FedEx 1660 is going missed. FedEx 1660 contact Indy approach on 128.175. Good day. Going to 128.175 FedEx 1660.
1,000.
Indy Tower FedEx 16087 miles
go.
northeast, inbound ILS runway 23 left approach.
1,000
Landing
feet.
or go around?
1608 Indy
Oh,
Tower.
probably gonna make you go around in a
0.30
couple of seconds.
18.285
Oh no, this
like,
landing
we
is
were
doing
gonna-
a perfect landing.
Cleared ILS runway 23 left approach, FedEx 1608.
FedEx 1608 Windcom cleared to land runway 23 left.
500.
Cleared to land runway 23 left, FedEx 1608.
400.
1,000 feet.
Interesting.
300.
Very interesting.
200.
172 knots indicated.
Did it land?
About to.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
On
Spoiler
ground.
retracted.
GSI 112
Airborne.
contact ground
On ground. 163 knots. 145 knots. 124 knots.
10.
103 knots. 81 knots. 58 knots. 33 knots.
FS Airline Ops 27. FSU Live the Hangout Team. FS Tram Row 2 Column
Alright,
3.
let's take a
System
look at
FSX
Tram
08
here,
February
guys.
22nd.pln FS. Prop list unknown. Property page no. Property page 1 half button. List Heinz Alt F. EOC route course 51 Alt FT 37,000. DKB route D greater course 51 Alt FT 37,000. Odd route course 311 Alt FT 37,000. Kate. Odd route course 296 Alt FT 30.
Oh,
FT total.
no
Leg NM 7.
wonder.
Heinz Alt
It
FT
didn't- it only
707.
put,
EOC
it's
odd
only
route
put
course
the
300.
one
It's
airport in.
only got the takeoff airport.
Oh, I wonder,
Alt FT
is
total. Leg NM
EHAN or whatever, the
7787.9. Time.
destination airport, not in the simulator? I
Plainfield,
wonder?
Indiana, United States. 4.6 nautical miles.
Possibly.
265.
No, because
I mean, it should.
no, because no, because I was flying it with P3D, and all the waypoints and the airways were there.
I know, but what I mean is, in FS 2020, is that airport
Oh.
missing, I wonder, the destination?
It's not because I added the gate, is it? And it got rid of my.
No. Because I did that on a flight and it didn't do that. That was just funny though.
Microsoft Flight Simulator
Well,
1.
guys, let this be a lesson that if for some reason 2020 doesn't have an airport,
FedEx 1608, follow the aircraft on final. Windcom cleared to land runway 23 left.
at least it'll land the way it's supposed to. It won't do a go around.
Cleared to
It'll
land
land
runway
nice and
23
smooth.
left. FedEx 1608.
And now we are
0 feet per minute. Wind 200. 5 knots ground speed. 6 knots indicated.
headed to a gate, and there you have it. The quickest flight in a 747 in world history. Brought to you by Let's Try This Again.
15 knots.
FS Airlines Ops 27.1 Ops 20.
So I'm gonna
15 knots.
Microsoft
You may
Flight
want to download the Navigraph,
17 knots.
Navigraph
Simulator
beta for
1.2.
2020
20
and
knots.
see if that fixes that problem.
20 knots.
2.2.0.
20 knots.
Does Navigraph not
20
update?
knots.
Shouldn't it update that
20
when you
knots.
do the...
No,
20 knots.
The Navigraph FMS manager is just
20
for
knots.
X-Plane and FSX and all that. There's
20
a separate
knots.
one for 2020.
20 knots.
Okay, so we might need to grab that, okay.
20 knots. 18 knots.
Well, either way, at least you guys got to see a really good
16
example
knots.
of how the AI can,
15 knots.
take off, land,
14 knots.
taxi. I mean, it
13
taxied,
knots.
it took off, did perfect,
12 knots.
landed, did perfect,
11
and
knots.
now it's taxiing back to the gate,
11 knots.
and it seems to be doing perfect.
FedEx 1608, exit
So-
runway when able.
Once we get to the gate, we'll stop this video. That's funny stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear somebody yell clickbait because, hey, I'm telling the truth when I tell you this is the fastest 747 flight in world history. This is it right here.
Oh, you're doing a touch and go and it's 7.4. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, not a touch and go because you'd be taking off, but like it's just a touch. So like
It's a,
you take off, turn back around, and land again.
yeah, it's a take off and go around and back home. Wow. That's pretty interesting. But there you have it, guys. We're getting ready to get to the gate here.
Ops 27.
I do appreciate all you guys here. Be sure to tell your friends about us on any of your social sites you might be a part of. Facebook, Twitter, all them lovely places. And hopefully we can bring you some more fun entertainment just like this here. Until next time, y'all take care.
Stop recording. Checkbox checked.
We'll talk to you here real soon. Keep the blue skies up. We'll see you.
Parking.